Hello technical analysis fans, and welcome to another episode of Victor's Kitchen. I am Coach Victor here at Safehouse, and in today's episode I would like to talk about an idea that has been pretty much in our minds for the past month. It is a very crucial level for Bitcoin, and it can make a huge difference in how you approach your trade setups. Let's get cooking.
Before you continue, please pause the video and read this trade disclaimer. None of the information contained here is financial advice. This is only for educational purposes.
Because, well, it's not that often that you make monthly levels, but already interesting enough that we are above this one here, above 29.2. And we have 4 days and 16 hours left in the month. So if price can stay above it, that would be a more bullish statement, because it would be above this monthly level, which, look at that, coincides, with that support. In other words, we would be flipping this previous resistance to support. And that's a big statement. Why? Well, because if you close a monthly candle here, and maybe next month we go down and backtest it as support, ideally, doesn't have to happen, but it's always nice. Even if it goes through it a little bit, as long as the month can then reverse and keep pushing up, well, then you basically open geez, that looks ugly. That you open up the path for the next one, for the next monthly level, because there are no monthly levels of resistance until 45K. So that's a pretty interesting statement from this perspective. Really need 23K, 16K, these are all, way too far away. But if we zoom in a little bit, then we start seeing two that are very important. One can act as an important support resistance flip. Yeah, in this case, it's resistance here. And if we manage to backtest it this month, and it can go a little bit through the area, that's fine. But then the monthly candle closes above it. That's the important thing. So you need to wait the entire month for this to actually crystallize. Yeah. Mario is saying, Victor, remember we are public today. Okay. Anyway, revisiting this area would still be okay as long as the candle then closes above it, and you could say, oh, it's a support resistance flip, SR flip. And especially if the month or July managed to claim the monthly open after doing that again, this candle would turn green, and that would be very bullish. In that case, if that happens, then you can start looking, okay, where's the next monthly level? Then 45K does become interesting. Support is holding really well. Every attempt to push price down has so far failed. The one thing to keep in mind, however, is that if you're putting your stop loss here or here, well, especially there, for long positions, that it's very easy to get stopped out before the actual move up happens. Yeah. And especially during a certain trading session that I love very much, that would be the New York session, which is coming up in a few hours. And that would be one of those, oh my God, my stop loss got hit. And then price went the way that I expected. Yeah. This is if you're putting your stop loss at places like this. There's a reasoning behind this. These two are a bit suspicious in that sense. The same could be said about these because they're all higher lows. So in one sense, you're saying, oh, well, this is bullish because they're higher lows. Yes. But on the other hand, you do have stop loss orders resting below all of these pivots. And of course, the pending homework, basically, right? There's like, oh, there was a front run of this level. Well, now we have two factors. One, front run, and the second one is that everyone and their mother's putting their stop losses here for long positions, right? I mean, where else are you going to put it? The ultimate one is here. Otherwise, you have to go all the way back down here, right? So you see how this is setting up to be a bit of a cheeky situation in that sense, yeah? So does that mean you can't long here? Of course you can. Just be aware of the fact that this can still happen, yeah? In other words, a move down to take all the stop losses out, tap that monthly level area, and then start moving back up and start that range rotation again. In other words, just like it happened here and like it happened here, taking out stop losses and rotating the range again. That would be the simplest or one of the coolest things to look at. Why? Because it gives you an insane risk to reward ratio. Yeah. In other words, let's say you use this as your reference level and you say, all right, if price goes down here, I'm going to do nothing and just see what happens. But as soon as it starts pushing back up, and this is where the order flow analysis becomes interesting, and only then it can give you nice information. And of course, if you say, all right, well, I expect the range rotation, point of control has to be a take profit area. Obviously, you can see why. Value area high, and perhaps even to that untapped daily level. So you can see a risk reward ratio of 12. Yeah, you're risking like 0.6% against possible 7. And this one would just be relatively simple if you understand the mechanics of why price goes there and why price reacts there. Possible mechanics. Of course, price can crash through. Yeah, there's no guarantees in trading. Very important, no guarantees. But these are the things you can have in the back of your mind and not panic and start selling at the worst place possible. And this is what the Bitcoin chart looks like right now. Price has made its way back to this old monthly level of resistance at 29,237. and it is in the process of possibly backtesting it as support. This would be a very bullish scenario for Bitcoin. Of course, it can go lower in price, but if it does manage to find support here and start bouncing and pushing higher, this opens the door to a huge range that can go all the way up to 45 or even 50K. This is why we are paying very close attention to what is going on the local time frames. We're going down to the weekly time frame, to the daily time frame. We're going down to the 15-minute. We're going down to the 1 minute, and we're checking order flow as well. Why? Because it helps us see the behavior of market participants. Are they doing the right thing at the right time, or are they entering positions aggressively at the worst place possible? That helps you with your trade setups. So if you want to find out more about how we deal with this information and use it for our trade setups successfully, then join us at successrepeated.com. The link is in the description, as well as for our Discord. And while you're at it, then please hit the like button if you like our content. It helps us out a lot. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on Discord. Bye.